Let me tell you what Ibrahim Traoré is doing. He has got agricultural projects. Burkina Faso is having a farming boom right now because of this great African leader. He has just made a law that any woman who has a child, her medical bills are completely eliminated. It's free to go to the doctor and have a child in Burkina Faso, in this African country, because mothers and maternal care is so important.
Donald Trump, look at this man. Try to be like him. Don't be like Zelensky. Don't be a worm. Be a president like Ibrahim Traoré.
The forces that are trying to overthrow Ibrahim Traoré are the same forces that keep Americans poor. We want a prosperous America, not one that is so focused on maintaining.
Grand rising kings and queens from Africa and across the ocean. Today, I'm about to talk about something that have left me shocked. And many of black people are shocked too. But again, it's very inspiring. It's very inspiring. I'm talking about the recent movement where white people were protesting. And the white protesters were holding the pictures of Captain Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso. During their protest chanting, they were telling their leaders to be like Traoré. They were telling their Russian leaders, American leaders, to be like Ibrahim Traoré. And it's a genuine admiration for an African revolutionary leader from a continent that the West, the system, are trying to demonize. The system are trying to colonize and disrespect and erase, to see that the people, the white people, especially the youths, the Gen Z. You know, the youths, the Gen Z are some different kind of people. We are changing the narrative from Africa to the world. Now I see the white Gen Zs embracing African culture, like totally embracing it, hanging with black people, like, and it's an inspiration to all of us. Now, this is not just about the twist of the narrative. I think this is a total shake-up of the global perspective of African leadership, of African leaders. It tells us one thing: the system is cracking, the truth is coming out, and the world, even the children of the colonizers, are starting to listen. Now, this is what I'm going to talk about this. But before I dive deep into this video, I want you to watch this clip first. I want you to watch these clips of these white protesters. It's a short clip, but I'm going to feature the clips of white people talking about Ibrahim Traoré, and then I'll come back with more commentary. Make sure you stick up to the end, okay? Thank you.
By one of the most blatant cases of market manipulation in history, which he then bragged about on camera.
He made $2.5 billion today, and he made 900 million.
Now they're talking about Ibrahim Traoré of Burkina Faso, and well, this is what the accusations are.
Receiving gratuities on the side to the benefit of the ruling elite and not to the populace.
So they're saying he's a corrupt strongman leader who's running the country in a way that benefit the financial elite and not the general population. Oh, hang on a second. So they're saying he's a corrupt strongman leader who's running the country in a way that benefit the financial elite and not the general population. Is there any good evidence of this? Honestly, not much I could find, although there does seem to be quite a lot of evidence to the contrary, in that he's refused his presidential salary and still gets paid the same that he did when he was a soldier, and also has disclosed his net worth, which reportedly comes in at a whopping $128,000. Now, could these numbers be a doctored facade? I guess. I don't know. I don't have an intelligence agency at my disposal, but even if they were, why is it the business of the American government? Where did you get your high horse from? Now, could there be some other reasons why powerful Western interests might want to get rid of Ibrahim Traoré? I don't know. It might have something to do with the fact that he's calling for a united African economy with an African currency that could severely weaken the dollar that gains a lot of its value from other countries using it for trade. It might have something to do with the fact that he's rather aggressively expelling the influence of Western economies that have had a colonial stranglehold on Africa for centuries now, and well, we all know how well that's been working for them. Even calling out the French president for France's rather impressively large gold reserves, which are the fourth largest in the world, and quite a lot of which came from Burkina Faso. So if we're going to talk about African wealth being exploited on behalf of financial elites and not the general population of the African countries, maybe you should have a look in some French vaults. Maybe just look around you, because frankly, if you're in the Western world, African wealth is just about everywhere you look.
I love Africa. It's so difficult to watch Ibrahim, I can't even say his name, Traoré, in his speeches and not be absolutely like shaken to the core at the absolute dedication he has to his people. And of course, that's a threat. That's a threat to colonialists. That's a threat to the West. Having anyone who is able to gather people that were ultimately very divided in a very large continent is a threat. If you don't know, Ibrahim has already survived over a dozen assassination attempts. I think it was like 18 or something. And of course, France is threatening him. He has taken upon himself in Burkina Faso to build roads. He's putting in the infrastructure. He's taken it away from private companies to ensure there's no corruption through there. And they are on the ground building roads right now, building the infrastructure that Africa deserves. He has taken control over their own resources. And of course, this is a huge threat because these colonialist nations like France, they profit off of exploiting Africa, and they always have. A continent as rich in resources and culture like Africa, being independent and being free and being able to profit for its people, oh my God, now that's a whole new world.
Burkina Faso's revolutionary leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, has been waging a war for sovereignty in Burkina Faso. He has demanded that foreign transnational corporations stop stealing the gold from Burkina Faso. He has demanded that foreign militaries exit the country like the United States and France. And now he is waging a war on corruption in his own government. Earlier this week, Africa's youngest leader, Captain Ibrahim Traoré, announced that despite the fact that he is president, he is still making the same exact salary he made when he was but a soldier. In addition to that, he announced that his total assets, his total worth, is $128,000. Now he's declaring that all other government officials declare their assets and entire net worth, or else they will face a speedy prosecution. Traoré has also barred any state officials from doing business with the government. And lastly, he has confirmed that any corruption that is uncovered in the government of Burkina Faso will be met with very quick punishment. Captain Ibrahim Traoré understands that you cannot have a sovereign government in a sovereign country if your own government officials are off on the take to either private corporations or foreign governments. This is a major step towards independence and freedom for Africa. Burkina Faso's revolutionary government in Africa has officially said no more to the foreign imperialists who are stealing our gold. Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the youngest leader in Africa, has officially withdrawn the mining permits for all foreign companies that were stealing the gold of Burkina Faso. And he put out a statement. He said, "We know how to mine our gold in Burkina Faso, and I don't understand why we are going to let multinationals come in and mine it." Maybe that's why they've tried to unalive him 16 times. In addition to this great news, Captain Ibrahim Traoré placed those mines, 2 of them, under full state control, which means that the people of Burkina Faso will be benefiting from all the revenue generated by those gold mines, not some wealthy investors living in France or the United States. This is the path to true liberation for Africa, and this is definitely what the imperialists in the West fear the most.
Welcome back. Now, those are just few reactions of white people talking about Ibrahim Traoré. And it is inspiring to see white people accepting this. But I will tell you for free. Some are saying this because of views, so we can't buy the whole story, but some are genuinely supporting what's going on. Now, Captain Ibrahim Traoré is the current leader of Burkina Faso for all who don't know him. But I'm sure, quite sure that from Kingston to Nairobi to Chicago, people know about Ibrahim Traoré. Now, Traoré represents the new era of African politics. Traoré represents the youths. Traoré represents the Gen Zs. Okay? And this era is representing is an era that leaders are no longer bowing down to France, bowing down to IMF, bowing down to Western components of or corporations. And he's 34 years of old. And at only 34 years, Traoré has led a coup and removed the French government, or the government that had failed the people. And ever since he taken power, ever since he went to the seat, he has taken bold and controversial steps to regain sovereignty of his country. One, he expelled French military presence from Burkina Faso. He demanded that France should stop exploiting African gold and resources. He aligned with other Pan-Africanist leaders like Mali's Assimi Goïta, and this one for Guinea, Mamadi, and for Niger. He has inspired a new Pan-African identity, especially among the youths. He is not playing the chess games. And that boldness alone, that is why he's being celebrated. Not just in Africa, but now, shockingly, I see he's being celebrated even outside Africa. In white majority countries, the Black Americans, the Afro-Caribbeans, the Grenadians, Islands, the Trinidad and Tobago people, the Jamaicans, the Haitians, all of them, they are supporting Traoré. And what I want to discuss is about the images that are circulating, or the videos circulating online. The white people, especially more of the Gen Z white youths, you know, those who are holding protests with Traoré pictures and are saying, you know, be like Traoré. Some of these guys say that we need a Traoré here, you know, Traoré over our president. This is what courage looks like. I don't know about you. I don't know what you are thinking. Tell me what you think in the comment section, but I've never thought I'll live to see the day like this. I never thought I'll live to see the day where young white people are out in the streets openly praising an African revolutionary leader and rejecting their own leaders for being coward. I never imagined to see a day like this, you know? I know power is shifting, but I thought it would be so much slowly. But seeing something like this has made me to believe that things are changing. And we are moving to the right core, to the right direction, okay? And this is not just about one or two people. It's a trend. It's a growing admiration. It's a movement that reflects something deeper. It's a sign that the world, or at least the younger generation, the Gen Z generation, is finally beginning to see past the propaganda, beginning to see the lies, is beginning to see the better side, and the better side is the truth. They are beginning to see the truth. The real heroes are the ones who stand up to oppression, not those who maintain oppression. Those are the real heroes. And this trend of youths, the Gen Z, are rejecting their own leaders. It's worldwide. I've seen it's worldwide, you know. But why is it happening right now? It's because what we need to do, we have to understand the Gen Z who really are. The Gen Z, or this generation Z, they're the first global digital generation, okay? First global digital generation. They were born with smartphones. They were born with social media, access to unfiltered information, that they are no longer bound by the lies of the traditional media. As Gen Zs, I'm one of them. We have seen the inequality. We have lived through economics, hardship, climate disaster, fake politicians, police brutality, and corporate corruption. And most importantly, we have started questioning everything. Gen Zs have started questioning everything. You see what's happening in Kenya? This is the generation that no longer trusts the system. This is the generation that no longer believes that democracy means freedom. This is the generation that see their so-called developed nations are actually collapsing. Because this generation, these improved countries, we are collapsing. They are collapsing economically, morally, and politically. So when, as Gen Zs, when they look across the ocean and see someone like Traoré standing up, risking his life, speaking truth to power, they don't see a dictator. The media is trying to paint Ibrahim Traoré as a dictator, but the Gen Zs, or the white people, the youths, the young white people, they are seeing a real leader. They told me don't praise the white people, but sometimes we have to talk things out. It's not about praising. It's about seeing what's happening. You know, if I compare Traoré to leaders in the West, I can see the difference. For example, in France, Macron is seen as an elitist, you know, and disconnected. In the US, we had Biden, we had Trump. Those are symbols of political chaos, okay? In the UK, the government is out of touch with the working class. That's in the UK. But Traoré is somewhat different. He speaks in simple language. He openly challenges Western domination. And more importantly, he represents the will of the people, okay? We all know nobody's perfect. So Traoré is not perfect. No leader is. But what makes him stand out is his authenticity. He doesn't pretend. He doesn't perform. He leads with boldness and clarity. And in a world full of fake, authenticity is rare. And when you have the authenticity, it is powerful. And that's why even white people, some white youths, are growing up in corrupt democracies. They are saying this guy is real. There's a video of a older woman, white woman, saying there is no democratic leader in the world, and that's true. But at least this guy is real. And let me be clear on something. I think this is not about white people trying to be heroes. This is not about white saviorism or them validating Traoré. This is about something else entirely. It's about them realizing that their system is broken. I always tell white people, for example, the working class white people, the poor white people, that we are all the same, all oppressed under one oppressor, whether you are white or black, because the supremacy is about the elites only. So they are seeing the system is broken and the solution won't come from inside it. You know, some things is just about humanity. For once, I see some white people, they are not acting. Okay? Yeah. For once, they are not acting superior. They are actually looking forward or looking towards Africa. They are seeing what's happening to Africa. Not with the pity, but with respect. They are now respecting some revolutionary leader from Africa. This is a powerful reversal of the historical narrative. So for centuries, Africa was seen as in need of saving, of Western aid, of intervention. But now African leadership is being viewed as a symbol of change. And that changed everything. In a time where Africa is becoming the world's moral compass, Africa is becoming more powerful, and the West collapsed under its own weight of greed, its own corruption, its own lies. People are looking outwards for something real, and they're finding it in Africa. You know, the African youths, to be precise, they are real. Real how? In African movements. And yes, African revolutionary leaders like Traoré. No, from the Sahel state all the way to South Africa, or from the Kenyan side to Nigeria, there's a new voice rising. I know you know about this. There's a new voice rising, and it's bold, and it's honest, and it is anti-imperialist, and the world is watching. Yeah, it is. The world is listening, okay? The world is listening. Even if the governments won't admit this, Kenya cannot admit this, Nigeria cannot admit this, but yes, it's happening. The citizens are watching Africa closely. The citizens of the countries are watching, you know? And for many, I'll say this, Traoré is the face of the new Africa. Yes, he is. Someone will ask why. Because Traoré has become more than just a man. He's a symbol. He's a symbol of resistance to new colonization. Is a symbol of youth leadership. Is a symbol of truth over manipulation. He is a symbol of courage in a world of cowards. So symbols are so much powerful. That's reality. They shape movements, they shape history. And when symbols like Traoré is embraced by the people or by those outside of Africa, it means that the message is cutting across the ocean. It means that the message is getting home. It is no longer about race. It is no longer about the nation. It's no longer about what blah, blah, blah. It's about truth versus lies. It's about courage versus fear, freedom versus control. And the people, even the white youths, are choosing truth. Yes, we are choosing the truth. It's better we die telling the truth than you live a lie all your life, or your generation, your families. You live a lie. You don't even know who you are, you know? And I want to talk about global unity because this is what I'm seeing. When we see the world start to respect African leadership, we must not wait for their validation, but we can use it as confirmation that our path is righteous, that our black people's path is righteous. It means our efforts are being seen. It means that our resistance is working. It means that our truth is louder than the lies. So this is the time of black people from US to the Caribbean, to Africa, to Brazil, to South Africa. It's the time to stand even taller because now the world is looking and now the excuses are gone. Now even the children of the colonizers are admitting what we have known all along. Africa is rising and black power is real, and revolution is not a dream anymore. It is a plan, and we are following the path of revolution, you know? But I have a word of caution to the world. Just because some white people are showing admiration doesn't mean the system has changed. We must remain vigilant. We must protect our leaders. We must own our narrative. We must write our own stories because we know how this ends. The system works. It praises what it can't control, and then it tries to infiltrate, to corrupt, and to destroy it. So as Traoré becomes a global symbol, as God his message, let us ensure the revolution stays African-led or black-centered. and people powered, you know? So family, I will say something is changing. The table is turning. The narrative is shifting. When white youths or white people start lifting up or seeing upon African revolutionaries, this is not a trend. This is a sign that the youths always win, okay? Captain Traoré has become more than just a president of Burkina Faso. He's now a global mirror, reflecting the failures of corrupt governments and realizing that Africa is the future. Tell me what you think in the comments about this video. Until next episode, peace out.